Good morning, boys and girls. I'm going to try this again. I made a 30-minute video on going over Monday and Tuesday's homework for the types of problems that you see that are different. It did not upload because it was too long. I don't know if it's because I'm not like a full member of YouTube, but I'm just going to go over Tuesday. Here are the answers for Monday's work. If you did want to check it quickly, you can even pause the video if you want to go grab it really quick and look over it. So I'm just going to go over quickly on how to do at least Tuesday's homework. So the work is already here because, as I said, I already did it this morning. So estimating, we have talked about this in class before. So you are always going to look at the biggest value, and you are going to underline it as though you are rounding. You are going to draw an arrow to your neighbor. So in this case, the biggest value is the thousands place, in the thousands place. Underline it, draw an arrow to your neighbor, which is in the hundreds place of 7. This 7 is 5 or more, so you're going to add 1 to the number you underlined, which is, you're going to create a 5. It's going to then be 5,000 plus, you were supposed to underline your hundreds place here. That is the biggest value place in this number right here. You're going to draw an arrow to your 6, which is 5 or more. You're going to add 1 more to that, and then it would be 600. So then what you're going to do, since it says sum, we know that sum is the answer to an addition problem, which means that you're going to then add these two numbers together, and you would get 5,600. And then you would have done the same thing over here, except it's different. So instead of adding them, you're going to subtract these two numbers that you get. You should have found that it was 3,000 for this one and 7,000 for this one. Alrighty, let's go down here. These are very different. They are difficult in the aspect of just having more steps. So I guess more tedious is the word that I was looking for. What you're going to do is you're going to solve each equation on either side of the line, and then you're going to compare them. So 12 times 4 is 48. 6 times 8 is 48. Those are equal numbers, so you would put the equal sign. 9 times 6 is 54. 7 times 7 is 49. 54 is a bigger number, so then 9 times 6 is bigger than 7 times 7. 6 times 6 is 36. 7 times 5 is 35. 36 is bigger, so you're going to eat this equation over here. So hopefully those didn't give you too much trouble yesterday on your homework. I feel like this is the section, balancing the equations, that are going to give you the most problems. Looking at them, yes, they look very hard. There's a lot of numbers. There's some empty lines, missing numbers, unknown numbers. But I promise you that it's not too hard. I have all of my work here that I did this morning, so I'm going to try and pull it up. All right. So what you're always going to look for first is you're going to look for which equation you can actually solve first, okay? Because what they're showing you is that this over here equals this over here. Same thing for down here. This answer is going to equal this answer right here, okay? Because you know how in class sometimes when we do our math talks at the beginning of class for math, and I give you a number and I tell you to create any equation that would have that as an answer. This is very similar to that, okay? They created this equation to equal a certain answer, and then this equation over here is going to equal the same answer. It's being able to solve different types of equations but getting the same answers. That's what these are. All right, so yesterday's was mainly addition and subtraction. Today they throw in some multiplication in there. All right, so looking at this, 36 plus 24 equals blank times 5. We cannot solve this side yet. I know you can see my answer. We can solve this side because we can actually do 36 plus 24. All right, so I added 36 plus 24, and I found that my answer was 60. And so what I did was I wrote that right above my equation right here, 36 plus 24, okay, equals 12 times 5. So to make it easier, because I did explain over here, it looks kind of funny when you write it like this, because you're used to the answers being on the opposite side of this. You can rearrange it to make it easier on your eyes if you choose, okay, which is what I did right here. So I took my equation that we don't know yet, my line times 5 equals, and I know that it's going to equal 60 because this equals this. So if this answer is 60, that means whatever equation is over here is going to equal 60 as well. So, boys and girls, we have talked about unknown numbers and multiplication before. So if there is a part missing in a multiplication problem, what are you going to do to solve? Very good. You're going to divide the two numbers given to you. So I rewrote that division problem over here, 60 divided by 5, okay, and I did not know my answer yet. So what I did was I really like the grouping model, and I know you know I like the grouping model. So I chose the grouping model to solve 60 divided by 5. Now you can do repeated subtraction, you can do the array, you can even count by 5s up to 60, which is very similar to repeated addition in a way. So I did grouping model. So I have 5 groups, I drew 5 circles, and then what I did was I counted, I put 1 in each circle until I got to 60. So when I put my 60th circle over here, I then went over to, it doesn't matter which one, I just went to my first one, I counted how many were in that circle, that group, and it was 12, which was my answer. Okay, so that is the missing number that I'm going to put here. And you could even check your work, okay? You could do 12 times 5 and another multiplication strategy, and a 12 times 5 equals 60, then you know that it would be 60 because then 12 times 5 up here, 60 equals 60, okay? All right, now down here is a pure addition and subtraction type of problem, and here is my work. So what they actually give you that you know that you can solve for is 635 plus 3,827. So I always tell you to put the biggest value of number at the top because it makes it easier, okay, to add. So I stuck 3,827 at the top because remember that's commutative property for addition, and we know that it doesn't matter the order of the numbers that you put them in because they're going to equal the same answer anyways with you. So when I solved 3,827, and 635, I found that the answer was 4,462. So that means whatever this is over here plus 587 will equal 4,462 as well. I always want you to put this answer above it for visual purposes, okay? So now what we have created is a missing equation, unknown number type of problem, okay? So I rewrote this right here. So if you look here, I did rewrite it because looking at this, sorry guys, I'm trying to show everything at one time. If you look at this, it would be 4,462 equals 587 plus line, unknown number, okay? But I rewrote it because I like to look at it this way. So I did 587 plus n. Remember, anything could be right here. You could put n, z, s, a, question mark, line. It doesn't matter because that's just representing our unknown number equals, and we know that the answer is going to equal that. So we put 4,462. All right, so to find the missing number in an addition problem, we're going to look. We are not missing the whole, we are missing a part. So if a part is missing in an addition problem, we are going to do what, boys and girls? The two numbers that are given to us. Very good, we are going to subtract them, which is what I did right here. I subtracted 4,462 minus 587. And when I did that, I got 3,875. Okay, which is what my answer would be right here. Now, I want to make sure that my answer is correct. So what I did was I actually plugged it in and I solved. So I did 3,875 plus 587. And when I did that, I found that my answer was 4,462, which is the overall answer that it should have been. So that lets me know that the missing number right here is 3,875. Okay? So like I said, I know these look really scary. When you look at the next day's ones, looks like there's some multiplication, there's some division. But I just want you to pay very, very close attention to what is given to you that you can actually solve. I don't know how much time I have in my video yet. I thought I have done longer videos before for reading and math lessons, but I guess I've never had to upload those into YouTube. So I did leave some of my markers here, I'm sorry. So let me look at this homework really quick, and I can always go over this in class again tomorrow. But if you look at these, it's given you 836 minus 794. So you know that you're going to solve that first. Okay, and then whatever answer that is, you're going to be creating an unknown multiplication problem then. Okay, and we know how to solve unknown multiplication problems. Here, they are giving you 132 minus 128. Okay, so that is what you can solve. So it looks like overall you are creating an unknown division problem, and we know how to do those. Same thing here, and same thing here. This one looks a little bit scarier because it looks like it is an associative type of multiplication problem. Okay, looks like you can solve this, and then you're going to have to do something extra over here. Okay, so what these are basically is we are solving two-step word problems without reading the word problem. Okay, so we're solving the first step, and then we have to solve for the unknown number for the second step. That's basically what we're doing. Just like when we're doing our two-step word problems in class, when you're doing them on your homework, when you were doing them on your morning work. Okay, this is basically what it is. You're solving your answer, and then you're having to solve for the second step. Okay? All right, so if you have any questions, just let me know. You can message me on Google Classroom. Have your parents message me if you have any questions, but I am here for you. Also, I did explain in my video this morning, for those of you that didn't know yet, this part down here, this is for whatever number you are working on in your facts at the time. So everyone is going to have different numbers down here. So we are going to start those time tests back up on Wednesday. So if you passed your 11s before we went away from school for a couple of weeks, you're going to be on your 3s. So if you're studying your 3s, you would put your 3s here. You would write 3s on every single blank, and you would just practice solving all of your 3s facts. If you're on your 5s, you would put your 5 here, put your 5 on every blank line, and then practice your 5 facts, okay? You're going to do that for every number. Now, if we come back on Wednesday and you did your 3s on Tuesday night, because you know that you're on your 3s, but maybe you didn't pass your 3s on Wednesday's time test, then you would again do your 3s on Wednesday. You might have to do your 3s 3 or 4 times. That's okay. Okay, it's just getting that getting more practice in. So then if you end up passing your 3s, then you would be on 4s next. So like I said, this down here is determined by what number of facts you are working on in class at the time. All right, bye everybody. I will see you on Wednesday.